Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. Check them out for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, like excuse me, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, my lunar brothers and sisters, let's have a look, right? What is your key to the week this week? You have... All right, so you've got the Temperance card, right? So, as you know by now, if you've been with me long enough, Temperance is a card of alignment. If the Magician is as above, so below, the Temperance card is as within, so without. And so one of the things about the Temperance card, it really shows us where our energy and our vibration need to match the thing, the place, the person, or whatever it is that we are trying to manifest into our lives. Now, that's the Temperance card as an instruction, let's say, right? What this means, though, is in all of these different areas of life, you are seeking to find the right energetic match or balance. Remember, with the Temperance card as well, it can bring a little bit of drama because it tends to see us in the middle of stuff. So it's kind of like what here in the UK, we've got this saying like piggy in the middle. So it's like where, you know, two people are arguing, you love them both, and so you have to kind of navigate between them. It actually comes from a kids game that we used to play in primary school, right? When you're really wee. And the, you know, it kind of translates into other things as well, right? It's where you have to kind of play the mediator. Now, for your actions and options this week, you've got the High Priestess. Okay, so more than anything else, this is going to be, and because remember, Temperance as well is a very spiritual card, and it also represents the process of spiritual distillation. You've got this coupled with the High Priestess, which tells me this is going to be a very or a decidedly spiritual week. This means that you're more focused on your spirituality than maybe you are anything else at this moment in time. Now, the other thing with this, because it's the High Priestess, this is hidden things revealed, and this is in your actions and options. This week, it wouldn't surprise me if there's something that you're sharing or divulging that maybe you haven't shared before, maybe you haven't said it out loud, maybe you haven't said it to another person, it's just something that you're aware of in or within yourself. Now, the other thing with this, because it represents the options that are available to you, this is about you being able to act on some kind of intuitive nudge or push that you have. Now, Cancer, you know, and yes, some people will say like, oh, but you're biased because you have a Cancer moon. Pisces is everything, right? And it's all at once kind of energy. Very similar to Aquarius in that way. Scorpio is deep, dark, and somewhat congealed. And therefore, in my humble opinion, as I've experienced it through reading charts, working with people, Cancer is the most psychic sign, right? And the reason, there's many reasons that I say that. I'm not going to sit here and justify it. I don't need to. Because you have that level of intuition, you are sometimes privy to or able to gain or glean knowledge or information that you know is prior to everybody else. And this week you actually have a chance to act on that intuition, and it could lead you to something potentially lucrative, but at least something that's definitely going to give you an advantage in a situation that requires more balance. Now, if you know the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the High Priestess sits between two pillars, the pillars of Yakin and Boaz, or also known as the pillars of mercy and severity. And interestingly enough, that is number 2, right? So it's a very balanced card in that way. And the Temperance card is what I call the Hierophant set free. There's an element of this week that is very spiritual, but it's like the spiritual meets the practical, and you're able to use the internal or intuitive energy or messages that you get to great effect. For your communications and conversations, you've got the King of Wands. This, I was going to say something. This guy, I say guy, this dude, this person, this King of Wands has been very active this week. And I'm not just talking about in the YouTube reads, I'm talking about in my client work. The King of Wands has been showing up everywhere. So on the wider world stage, it wouldn't surprise me if we're seeing some big development with a fire sign male on the wider world stage. This is potentially somebody who has been known as a businessman, entrepreneur, etc. It's possible that this King of Wands could be somebody who is a Sagittarius or somebody that has a very strong Sagittarius energy. Now, in terms of communications, this is bright, vibrant, communicative energy. So whatever it is that you're getting, whatever it is that you're intuiting, whatever it is that is coming to you as a download, whatever spiritual ideas, philosophies and beliefs are revealing themselves to you now, you're sharing them with the world. It's not like you're just sitting back on your laurels. Your communication really hits home this week. The things that you have to say, the things that you have to share are really meeting their mark. For those of you that are students, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this could be that you are meeting with or connecting with what looks like a spiritual guru, teacher, etc., mentor of some sort. And it's like, although this is about your studies, it's going to be approached through your spirituality in some way. Same for those of you that are employed by somebody else. You could be connecting to a fire sign person, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, right? But likely to be a Saggy because we've got the Temperance card here. Now, what really strikes me is this week you're going to be expected to speak up about your accolades, right? This is where you have to kind of blow your own trumpet to say, well, actually, this is what I've done. This is what I've achieved. This is what I am good at. This is about really putting yourself forward and demonstrating your skill, right? And really, I mean, out of all of the kings, to be fair, the King of Wands is the one that's worked the hardest at becoming the king, right? And that's because he's really gone through it. You know, he's been that sort of active principle in order to get to that top spot. For those of you that are so really, if you're employed, it might be that you have to pull rank this week, right? Where maybe you would usually go with the flow. You are a water sign after all. This week, maybe it's like you got to find that grit and say, no, hang on a sec. If there's a promotion coming up, I should be the one to get it because ... Now, for those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is a really dynamic push that comes from inside of you to make or enhance your business in some way, shape or form. It is possible as well that there could be some competition this week. And I got to say, if you are a business owner, some healthy competition gonna do you good, right? Gonna stop you resting on your laurels over there. Now, don't worry, baby. I'm talking about me too. You are my lunar brothers and sisters, after all. For those of you that are retired and no longer working for any reason, this is slightly different because it means that you are potentially meeting with or connecting with someone this week that you actually connect with on a spiritual level. It's like you start to really understand them, or should I say, it's like you start to really understand yourself through this connection. And what I like about it is this feels like maybe the first time you found someone where you can think, you know what, this person is part of my tribe. Love this for you, all right? For your love and relations, you've got the Four of Pentacles. So if you are partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, there are some conversations that you'll need to have about money this week. And actually, I think this will serve you very well because what it really suggests is that maybe you and your partner haven't been on the same financial page for a while. And before that, you know, Cancerian resentment sets in. This week you have an opportunity to open up the dialogue. You've got the Four of Wands with the Four of Pentacles with the King of Wands. This is a conversation that goes really well around or about finances, but maybe highlights how much more time there is to go or whatever else it is that needs to happen. For those of you, and also when it comes to a living situation, it looks like one of you is out of the door and one of you is kind of digging in, right? So you got to get that sorted. For those of you that are single and looking and ready to mingle, the Four of Pentacles, I think in a lot of ways is seeing you understanding this week where it is that you're stuck, where it is that you're not even in a rut. It's almost like you're saying to yourself, okay, you know what? These are the things that I want and need, and these are the things that I won't compromise on. But actually, here are some of the areas where maybe I need to be a bit more open when it comes to relationship. For your money and material, you've got the Nine of Pentacles. Do you know sometimes, my dear Cancerians, sometimes the best way to pull money in, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I can't believe that's so counterproductive, right? But sometimes the best way to call money in is to spend money, right? When you start to, trust me, the universe is very, very wise. Now, even if you're sitting there and you're thinking, Raf, I don't have a lot of money and I need money at the moment, and you're telling me to go out and spend. Yes, I am. Whether it's $1, $100, $100,000, whatever it is that's in your budget that you are able to do, spend it, and spend it freely, right? That's going to open up the floodgate for more money, more resources, and more abundance to find you. That Nine of Pentacles is a very embodied experience, and it's about enjoying the fruits of your labor. You've got this with the Temperance card. You're learning a spiritual law this week when it comes to money. And if that is what I need to impart to you right now, he says in his infinite wisdom, not like I'm the fountain of all knowledge, but I can tell you I've seen this time and time again, not just for my clients, but also for myself. If you are trying to pull money in, you think, it's stagnant at the moment, I don't really have a lot, I don't have what I need, blah, blah, blah. Spend money, and while you're spending it, don't think about, oh shit, I hope if I'm gonna spend this money, Raf, I hope it comes back to me. No, baby, you can't do it that way, right? You have to be open. And it's like, even if it's just you say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to treat myself to a tub of ice cream. Honey, you better go and buy the nicest, juiciest, fattest, most gorgeous tasting ice cream that you can find yourself and sit there and eat the damn lot, right? Feel good about spending this money, about circulating money, and I guarantee you it'll open up the floodgate this week and it'll bring a whole lot of pennies back to you, all right? Now, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, that Nine of Pentacles is again about the embodied experience, but really and truthfully, how you take care of your physical being this week is really through the spiritual self, right? So your spiritual self, they're linked anyway, we already know this, right? But your as science is finally catching up, bless them. But it's going to be from the outside in. Remember what I said to you about temperance, about being that as within, so without. This week, to really improve the physical health, you have to improve the spiritual self. The two are very linked for Cancer people at this moment in time. When it comes to your home and environment, maybe this is where you're spending the money. Maybe this is where you're putting down that cash, honey, putting down that money, right? This is you beautifying or enhancing your home or your living space in some way, shape or form that is going to provide not just extra comfort, but maybe it's that you're building a space or even bringing something into the home that brings you a much greater sense of aligned peace, comfort, joy, and embodiment. All right. It's a decidedly interesting week this week, and I can't wait to see what happens. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments. Take care, and I'll see you soon. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. Take care, and I'll see you soon.